Fasten your chin strap and put your pads on. Get a grip on the bat, here comes a fastball. We ain't going one and done, we're here to last long. This the top of the standards, get ready to blast off. Alright, let's do this. Bang! Bang! Every Sunday afternoon, big sports fanatics coming out your speakers like a piston running with magic. Game time status good to go is automatic. Ready for the blowouts and the instant classics. Calling all the teachers, all the fathers and the mothers. Calling all the kids, all the sisters and the brothers. Dynamic high schoolers in the game like no other preseason. Game 7s, hey, y'all know we got it covered. From the finals to the Super Bowl to the World Series to the Stanley Cup final. Over here we spit it clearly. Andrew Hale and Jotham Israel coming with the hottest topics. Hey, you know what's up with sports. People wanting it, we got it. Yeah, get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Yo, get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Come on. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Yo, get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Come on.
Yeah, top of the standards. That's what it's about, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, season 2 is here, baby. Yes, Jotham Israel and Andrew Hale, we're back and better than ever. Yes, we got a ton of sports to talk about, as always. And yes, I can rap. I produced the song, I wrote the lyrics, and I rapped it. That is my voice. Yes, you guys better believe it. But before we get started...
Have you ever wanted to create a podcast? Well, if your answer is yes, then download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started right now. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. It's free. Yes, free. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many others. Yes, you heard that right. It's that simple to get your voice heard around the world right now. There's also creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer to truly make your podcast perfect. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And lastly, get this, you can make money with no minimum listenership. Who doesn't like money? It doesn't get easier than Anchor, so again, head on over to your phone's app store and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Jotham, we are finally here. Who would have thought that we would have gotten to this day? This day, it seemed like it would take so much to finally get to this day. We've had breakouts throughout the league, but we are finally here. Super Bowl Sunday. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, not just because Super Bowl Sunday is here and we got through NFL season in your home markets without having to cancel games. All 268 games have been played up until this point, with number 269 NFL record left to be played right here today. Not only am I feeling good about that, but I'm feeling good that I get to keep my facial hair this year.
Yeah, last year you had to take it off because what'd you do? You bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I'm doing it again, but last year nothing will match the humility of last year. Nothing.
Yeah, I would assume so. I would obviously hope not, but we got a big game today. I think I know who you're going to pick. I think you know who I'm going to pick. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I think that even the fans know because you've been going against, the favorites. You've been the underdog taker. You've been taking the underdogs. Me, I've stuck with Patrick Mahomes all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, it's only perfect because I'm going bigger. I'm going home. Because look, I mean, I look back at the prediction rivalry, and I saw that I had more wins in the regular season, and right now I'm 9-3 in the playoffs. You're 8-4. So if you win the Super Bowl, that'll deadlock us in the postseason. But if I win, I sweep the regular season and the postseason, and I get the Super Bowl. I gotta pick the Bucks. I gotta pick the Bucks so I can have the honor, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's fair. I get it. I understand. If I didn't pick the football team, I would have been tied. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Dude, and to think that the Bucks got to this point after being in a one-score affair with Taylor Heineke.
Bro, They were so close. I was confident in the football team, but I don't know. I think we're gonna get a shootout today. I don't think it's gonna be a low scoring. I don't think it's gonna be low scoring. I don't think it's going to be a defensive slug match. I think it's gonna be a shootout.
I think it might look similar to the last time these two teams met. I think the Chiefs are gonna get off to a fast start, as they always do. Or even if they don't get off to a fast start, they're known for turning it up a notch in some random quarter. I mean, even if it can happen in any quarter. I mean, except the fourth, because that's when they're really chilling. Because they have such a sizable lead. It's like third quarter. If it even gets to that point, they turn on the Jets. Second quarter is usually when they're just like, okay, we're gonna separate ourselves from you. You're gonna go into halftime with a big deficit, and that's how we're gonna do it. I think it might be a little bit similar to that, but and it's been going, game wise on, going into the actual game. I think the Bucks can find a way to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. I just, see what the Bucks have done throughout the postseason without, key pieces, and depending on if Antonio Brown is playing or not, that's still, to be determined. But he's listed as questionable. Usually when you're questionable Super Bowl week, you're going. But I think the Bucks have proven that they can win even when not healthy, because they went to Washington, and believe it or not, that Washington football team defense is not bad. It's just that their offense was a bit sus, and I know people look at the fact like, you gave up 23 to the Washington football team. That's sus. Yeah, but they didn't have Devin White, who was a really key piece of that team. Then they went to New Orleans. We saw what they did against the Saints, shut down Michael Thomas. Now, I don't know. Now, Tyreek Hill is a whole different echelon from Michael Thomas. Let's get that straight. And Travis Kelce, too.
Yeah.
But they went to Green Bay, and they found a way to stop the MVP and the highest scoring offense in the NFL. Believe it or not, people don't know the Packers lead the league in points per game. 31.8. And that defense found a way to not only shut them down, but bail out the offense when they started faulting. That Tom Brady threw 3 straight interceptions, and somehow Aaron Rodgers did not score a point off of turnovers. That is insane.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to mention how they were able to shut down the MVP. So, I don't know. I think they may give Patrick Mahomes a little bit of problems, but hey, we saw what the Browns did. They even injured him, but I don't know. I just don't see the Bucks being able to stop Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I don't. I really don't. They're gonna have to double one, which is gonna leave someone open. Someone has to be open if they double one of those two. I don't know. I just think the Chiefs' offense is too good. I don't see how that defense can keep up. I don't.
My thing is they got to stop the running game, and I think they could stop the running game, but that's just making Patrick Mahomes throwing it more often. But you know what? By some freaking way, because I'm looking at that offensive line, no Eric Fisher, and I don't think this is going to be too big of a factor. It's not like this is the NFL's defending champion. You're gonna have you got to have decent backups, and the Chiefs, they've proven that they can stop you from putting pressure on Patrick Mahomes in some way, shape, or form. But I think that Tampa Bay front four, I won't say it matches the 49ers defense from last year, because that 49ers defense was loaded. This secondary is not as good, but their front seven is right there. So I think they could get pressure on Mahomes and not let him just throw dots on them all game long, because Mahomes lives when he scrambles out. When he scrambles out of the pocket, it's like automatic completion, 10 yards down the field.
Yeah. All I'm saying, if it's a close game with 2 minutes left, it's really, really going to be tough to stop Patrick Mahomes. That's all I'm saying. But if you contain him throughout the game, I think the Bucs are going to have a better chance. But you just got to contain him, because when he's clutch, when it's a clutch situation, 2 minutes left, it's going to be real tough to stop him.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's lost a game, a real meaningful game. Like the Las Vegas Raiders back in October, that was the last time he lost a real meaningful game. And they needed 40 to stop him. They needed 40 to win that game. Mahomes still dropped 32 on that defense. So, I mean, if the Bucs are going to win, you're just going to think, and I mean, this is common logic in football, but you got to outscore. You got to outscore them. I mean, and for some reason, I think they have the ability to do it. Playoff Lenny, if that's really what we're going to call him, has he's been stepping in a little bit. Watch me say that, and then he has 20 carries for 20 yards or something like that. But the Bucs have good weapons too. I mean, Mike Evans, Tyler Johnson is pretty underrated. Scotty Miller, obviously we saw what he can do. I mean, I hope he doesn't eat his own words, because earlier he said that he's the fastest player in the NFL when he's going up against Tyreek Hill in the Super Bowl. I wish he hadn't said that. I wish he would have just went out on the field and just proved that he's the fastest player in the NFL. But it is what it is. Hopefully he doesn't lose the Super Bowl because of that. Watch him get locked up by Matthew or Breland or somebody.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've seen how I wouldn't say trash talking, but saying some things can do some things for your team. Choo-choo Smith-Schuster. But hey, hey, I mean, you're right. They do have some weapons, but in my opinion, I don't think those weapons have really shown what they can do throughout the playoffs. So, I mean, when you have Gronk on your team, and it seems like he's not even on the team. We haven't heard his name too much during these playoffs, and that has been, Tom Brady's best target throughout his entire career, at least Gronk's. But I don't know. They have to show up. The offense has to show up. The Bucs offense really does. If they, like you said, expect to win this game, they have to outscore them. That's going to be a very, very tough task. Because I do think that this Chiefs defense. I know what you've said in the past few weeks, that you don't think they're the best in the league or better than the Ravens or the Colts, but they're still giving up 21 points per game. That's really good. I don't know. You gotta get past that Chiefs defense. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, they need to go back into them Raiders games and just look what the heck did they do so consistently that got them past that defense. And I mean, you look at the Raiders like, how the heck did they do this?
I bet they don't even know. I bet.
But yeah, I mean, all I gotta say, is that things are definitely different compared from the last time these two teams met. We were still looking at the Bucs like, man, this offense is dysfunctional. I mean, they're coming off that loss to the Rams. It just looked dysfunctional. And it's just like, this team is not going to the Super Bowl. But you know what? Ever since they lost to the Chiefs, it's like, okay, let's turn it on. Haven't lost a game since. Now they get a rematch, same place. Kind of took a page out of our book. Yeah. Same time, not same time, same place, same field, and let's get it on. Higher stakes though.
Yeah. Hey, all I gotta say, I've never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Go Chiefs.
Never bet against Pat Mahomes versus never bet against Tom Brady. Something's gonna have to give, Drew. Something's gonna have to give.
Something. It's like one of us has to go down with our little catchphrases. You guys know. Never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Go Chiefs.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be irate if the Chiefs would go back to back, but I would prefer to see the Bucs win. I'm more of a team guy than a player guy. I mean, I think all this Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes GOAT talk is a bit premature, but you know what? If Mahomes does beat Brady, he's kind of on his way. I mean, we got to be real about that.
100%.
But yeah, dude, I'm excited. I can't wait. You know what? I know we talked about the Super Bowl earlier, but there's been a lot of things going on outside of the Super Bowl. Dude, what is going on with all these transactions, dude? I mean, the potential transactions, dude. Carson Wentz could be dealt this week. Could he?
I mean, they said he essentially will be. It's sooner than later. I'm gonna predict it right now. I'm gonna say the Indianapolis Colts.
I pray to God it's not the Bears. Oh my gosh.
Nick Foles, Carson Wentz reunited.
I don't want to go through what they went through. I really don't. I mean, shoot, the Eagles won a Super Bowl by that system, but I'm not buying it, bro. I don't. The only 11 I want to see is some random quarterback or wide receiver that we draft. That's the only 11 I want to see on the Bears roster.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I don't know what the Bears are gonna do. I don't. I mean, who does? Every single year they seem to do something wild. So
Trey Lance, maybe we draft Trey Lance or something like that. Get a quarterback late first round. Some teams strike gold late first round QBs. Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson, you know, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. We know Mitchell Trubisky is going to be out of the equation. He's got to go. He has to go. If they bring Mitchell Trubisky back,
resign him. That's all I got to say. Resign him.
you just want the line. That's just going to be a Lions treat.
No, that's going to be the whole NFC North treat.
Oh dear God! Speaking of the NFC North, dude, I heard trade rumors for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ain't going nowhere. Minnesota's not going to trade that man.
Yeah, I did not hear that. And it's kind of funny because I know that some Vikings fans are, the biggest fan of Kirk. I mean, I kind of could see why. He's kind of inconsistent. I don't know. I don't see you pay him all that money just to trade him. I don't see the Vikings do that. I mean, who would they get? I don't know.
The Texans can't really afford to give up any more first rounders.
Deshaun Watson and for the Vikings, that would be weird. I don't know. That would just be weird.
There's a lot of weird things that are gonna happen, man.
You know what else is weird? I saw the boldest thing that I've seen an NFL GM say or ask for. So the Lions, they hired Brad Holmes, former scout for the Rams, and it came out today that he was bold enough in initial talks with the Rams to ask for Aaron Donald for Matthew Stafford. That is hilarious, and I respect the boldness. I really do. I respect it.
See, hey, you never know. You never know.
You'd rather be bold than not.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try. Because look at what happened with the Arizona Cardinals when they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. They stole Hopkins. That was a steal, okay? So you never know. You pitch an idea, somebody's dumb enough to take it, buy it. Hey, you got yourselves a dub.
I just think it's absolutely hilarious that in his first time being a GM, he asks his former team for their best player. I love it.
Yeah. The Panthers were also in that discussion. They were offering number 8, the first round pick. That was pretty enticing, a little bit, but
number 8, Teddy Bridgewater, and then a 5th. Personally, I'm taking the 2 firsts, 1 third, and Jared Goff.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I said, we already talked about the Lions stealing. That was a steal. I think Matthew Stafford can turn the Rams into contenders short term, but long term, the Lions are Gucci.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I agree. And people are like, oh, what if the Rams are good and they get late first round picks? I don't care. First round pick is first round pick. I'd rather have 2 first round picks than a 5th round pick. So, and Teddy Bridgewater, and I would consider Jared Goff better than Teddy Bridgewater in my opinion.
Rebuilding for the future. Hey, we've seen Goff do some good things, and
took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Hello.
Imagine how weird it would be, how absolutely weird it would be if, Jared Goff got a playoff win before Matthew Stafford. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that would be the weirdest thing I could have imagined.
Oh my gosh, dude. Super Bowl 56 is in LA, so who knows? If Matthew Stafford takes him to the Super Bowl in LA, oh my god.
I'm happy for him. I don't care. If he does it first year, with the Rams, it's better with the Rams than the Bears, so I'm glad they dealt him to LA. But I'm rooting for Matthew Stafford as always, like I said, but when he comes to town and plays against the Lions, I'm all in on Jared Goff.
I can't wait. I got to see that schedule drop. I'm always excited for
watch him do it on Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh. That would be most amazing thing the NFL could have done for that day. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But yeah, even outside of that, NFL honors, was last night. I thought it was pretty cool how they had Russell Wilson and his wife, do a little introduction to a segment, and then Russell Wilson winds up being the NFL Man of the Year.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, and then I thought it was also cool how they battled through, the fact that they're not going to have like an ESPYS, Emmys type presentation, and the whole thing virtually. Dude, I got to say the biggest winner of the night, in my opinion, was Kevin Stefanski. In my opinion.
Yeah. I'm not surprised he won. I really am not, and I think he deserved it 100%.
Oh, yeah, dude. Look, not only did you take the Browns to the playoffs, you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to a pulp in the wild card round. You nearly beat the Chiefs. You were one pylon inch away from beating the Chiefs. And, obviously, Stefanski deserves a lot of credit. I hope he doesn't pull a Nagy and wins Coach of the Year and then just busts. Please, Cleveland, I beg you. Do not.
I don't see it happening. Honestly, they were too good. They won a playoff game. They won a playoff game. Just that alone. That's just that alone.
Yeah, they won a playoff game. We didn't. So that's a pretty good start. That's a darn good start. Stefanski, and you know what? The fact that they can win a playoff game without Stefanski and with that, look. I will never get over about the fact that win literally shifted the entire landscape of the AFC North. I will never get over that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. And all I gotta say, Megatron, GOAT, GOAT.
Yeah, I hope he mendels things out with the Lions because, he was a really good player.
Dude, I remember I went to a Lions game against the Bears the year he was trying to break the record for most receiving yards in a season, and he wasn't able to do it. I remember the Bears fan there sitting in front of us was, heckling. But nonetheless, watching Calvin Johnson play in front of my two eyes, it's very, very cool. A Hall of Famer. Come on, Lions. Next time you draft a Hall of Famer like Barry Sanders or Calvin Johnson, please do something. Please make use of him.
Yeah, take advantage of drafting TJ Hawkinson,
I hope so. I definitely think he could be the best tight end in the league.
Yeah, I really hope too. Got to hit on some of these draft picks, man. I like the DeAndre Swift. I think I think the Lions are set for the future. For the 5 years from now, mark it down. I think they will be an NFC North contender in the next 5 years.
Okay, I'm not mad at it. I think the Lions are a good drafting team. We've seen it. They drafted Matthew Stafford. They drafted Calvin Johnson. They drafted Barry Sanders. They just haven't been able to put a team around those players. So I'm not mad at their drafting and their picks, but they just need to hire the right staff, and that's what they're doing right now. I hope they can be as successful in the future, though.
Yeah. Now we just got to worry about. Well, you just have to worry about just building the right team around these guys because it's always been about the team. The quarterback hasn't really been that big of an issue. It's been the team around him. I don't know I don't know why, but it is what it is. But you know what? Last thing I want to touch up on, people are starting to talk about Sam Darnold getting traded. I'm like, Bears, you better stay out of that.
No. I would love to see Mitchell Trubisky and Sam Darnold on the exact same team. Two really fantastic quarterbacks, in my opinion. Probably two of the best in the league, in my opinion. Sam Darnold, ever since I remember watching him get absolutely destroyed in the Cotton Bowl, playing probably the worst quarterback I had ever seen in my entire life. And then, his first pass attempt, a pick six, dude, that's just legendary right there. Sam Darnold, Bears, you guys need to connect. You guys need to, make some work there, please. I want to see Sam Darnold in Chicago, please.
Dear God, no. Oh, dear God, no. Dude, we're going to get trolled so bad if we trade for a quarter. Because just think about what we might have to give up. Dude, imagine if we traded a first rounder and Khalil Mack for anybody. Oh, my gosh.
That's,
dude.
Yeah. Sam Darnold. The Bears are calling. Come on.
Oh my god, dude! I cannot. I mean, they haven't turned away any of the calls, but dude, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! 49ers, do something, do something! 49ers, Colts, Panthers, somebody obliviously do something, just not the Bears. Oh man, but you know what? Lions fans are there for it. They're right. I'm pretty sure Lions fans are going to be the first ones in line to clap the Bears.
No, Lions, Packers, Vikings, every single team, not just the Lions. This is a whole NFC North team. We don't like the Bears. No one in the NFC North likes the Bears. Come on.
I mean, who even is the most likable team in the NFC North outside of the team that you support the most?
None. I mean, all of them hate each other. Come on.
Oh, I will never understand it. I will never grow into it. But it's fun. It's fun to watch, man. I can't wait to see what happens in April and March and see the draft, all the transactions. Oh, this is gonna be the equivalent of the 2019 NBA offseason.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I see it. I sense it. All right, dude, let me tap into some college basketball because things are starting to get weird. So could this be the first week in my lifetime, or at least to my knowledge, that we have unranked Michigan State, unranked Kansas, unranked Kentucky, unranked Duke, and unranked North Carolina? Unranked Blue Bloods.
It's weird. It's so weird. Hey, at least Michigan State won. They snapped their skin, and I'm happy. But it's really weird. I mean, we talked about it last week. The UNC and Duke game. I didn't really hear much from it. I mean, I know it was on ESPN, but I don't think it gained too much attention as it did in the prior years. I know UNC won, and Duke isn't that good. I think everyone knows that. I mean, neither is UNC, but it's really weird seeing all these teams, all these legendary teams, legendary schools with legendary coaches, all be anything but legendary this season.
Maybe this is the cause of the pandemic, because some dudes. Like when you're a freshman and you're like a 5-star prospect and stuff like that, sometimes you really feed off of crowd reactions. Sometimes, I mean, there's some things some things that happen, off the court that really motivate you to do better. Like if somebody's trash talking you on the sidelines, or, if a fan is heckling you, or you just love to silence the crowds on the road, or even pump up your own crowd when you're at home. Some dudes thrive off of that. And, so, I mean, usually the teams that aren't as good have, a lot of upperclassmen on their team, and, a lot of experience and stuff like that. So, it's like when you're aging, you're handling it better. And, we're seeing that. I mean, look at Gonzaga. And I mean, Gonzaga's always, been pretty good, but still they have, I mean, them and Baylor are undefeated. Baylor too. I mean, out of nowhere. It's like Baylor just came out of nowhere and just became all of a sudden a, dominant force to be reckoned with in men's college basketball.
Yeah, these past 2 years, they've snuck in there. It's really weird. I mean, I don't think before. I mean, they did make a few, tournament appearances in the past decade, but last year they really proved that they are one of the best teams in college basketball. It's really weird. But back to your point about these, more mature teams, it's funny because we talked about the Blue Bloods year in and year out. They're the freshmen are one and done, so they're gonna have to bring an entire new class and learn all the plays and how it works, and then they just haven't been able to do it this year. So I 100% agree with your statement there. I don't know. I really want to see Gonzaga win the championship for once, please.
Right. It's like I said, I will never get over the fact that they had never won a national championship until they win a national championship.
Yeah, it's weird. You would have thought they've already done it because they've always been good. Every single year they've been really good. I can't remember a year where they were bad. I really can't.
No, I mean, it's always Gonzaga, Zaga. I remember back when I was younger, I thought it was Gonzagert, and I was just like, Gonzagert. It sounded good to say, so I just said Gonzagert. I know it's Gonzaga, but Gonzaga. yeah, my youthful sports stuff, man. But yeah, dude, it's not even just those two teams. I mean, there's a lot of I can't get over it, Drew, because I this is what I love to see in college basketball. These weird, random basketball teams, some of them known better for their football, and are starting to step up. Michigan, Houston, Texas, Ohio State, big win over Iowa. Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying? Missouri, Texas Tech, Illinois. What the heck is going on in college? And then Drake is still undefeated too.
Yeah, that's weird. And we mentioned this last week, but all I gotta say, I Pistons fans, they've come up with a new catchphrase for Cade Cunningham. It's not tank for Cade, it's fade for Cade. So that's what we're gonna do. We're fading for Cade. I guess it proved because they were able to win a kind of, it was, I wouldn't say an instant classic, but it was a pretty good game, double overtime.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty good game. You know, double overtime. There were some good games yesterday, low key. I mean, that Alabama Missouri finish was crazy. I mean, Missouri was up by 22 in the second half, and all of a sudden, here come the Crimson Tide just out of nowhere. Now all of a sudden, it's a 1 point game. I'm like, whoa, that just escalated real quick.
Yeah. Whew. There have been some very, very crazy finishes, and we say this every time. We're here for it. We like these crazy finishes. I've been enjoying it. I can't wait for March Madness. We're very close. We're probably about a month away.
Oh yeah, doesn't feel like you do it.
No, not at all.
But I'm excited. It doesn't even feel like Super Bowl Sunday. So I mean, how it is in our timeline, man. I really want to talk about North Carolina Duke again. I'm sorry, but when I saw the advertising for this game, it didn't feel the same. It did not feel the same because there were no numbers by neither North Carolina nor Duke to signal that they were ranked. And then it was just all about kind of history and there were fans in the stands when they were replaying the highlights, and I was just like, oh, they know. They ain't jack this year. Oh, just like, dude, this is so awkward to just think about. And then watching the game, just watching the Duke game at Cameron is so weird, and it feels so empty. It just doesn't feel the same, dude. You saw your Spartans play at Cameron. It did not feel the same. And watching this game, it was just like, oh, Duke fans would have went crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's funny they even had it on ESPN. I'm not surprised that they did, but when two unranked teams that, no one has really cared about get put on ESPN, I mean, it's interesting. I guarantee that the viewership for that game was probably the lowest that it has been in the past decade, by far. I guarantee it.
It had to have been.
I guarantee it, 100%.
It had to have been. No fans. The Duke and North Carolina are not championship contending teams. They're not ranked top 5 like they were when Zion was playing. Oh my gosh, dude. It's just not the same. And you look at, just looking at the ACC in general, dude. I mean, it's been up and down. I don't know who's a real contender in the ACC. I mean, is it Louisville? Is it Clemson? Ooh, Virginia Tech? I don't know. I don't know anymore. NC State?
I think we're going to see a random team win it. Not the ACC, but March Madness. I could see a completely random team that you and I have heard very little about win it all. That's just the type of year we're in. That's just the type of competition where we're at, where anyone can be good, anyone can be bad. I want to see it though. I want to see a random team. I want to see a team like Loyola Chicago get back.
I was about to say because the Ramblers are doing pretty decent this year too, so I think they'll get a ticket in again. So you never know, dude. Especially when you don't really have to worry about traveling. Yeah. Players can be well rested. In Indianapolis, man, I'm gonna love it, dude. I can't wait. And it's not even. We can't even stop because right now Iowa and Indiana are playing. They're in a 3-point game in the second half. Could Indiana really pull off another upset over Iowa? This is the Big Ten, dude. The Big Ten is just insane. The Big Ten is the epitome of unpredictability.
Yeah, every single year it is kind of crazy. And speaking of Iowa, hey, Michigan State almost beat them. They were very close. They were very competitive. They played very, very well throughout the entire game. Just, Iowa just took control in the second half. But nonetheless, I think it's like every year that we see, teams like Penn State. Your Penn State, they were actually decent in the Big Ten last year. They would have made the tournament. Unfortunately, we know what happened, but I think year in and year out, any team has a chance of winning the Big Ten. It's just very competitive. Almost every single team is very good.
That reminds me, Penn State and Michigan State do play each other on Tuesday. I remember, the two games that we had last year. We were both pretty involved. I liked it though. I liked it. They were both pretty salty worthy losses.
Yeah.
On both
all Cassius had to do was hit 2 free throws.
Missed free throw, and then I don't know what's more excruciating. Watching your star player miss a game tying free throw to tie the game, and then your opponent hits free throws and ices the game, or just watching your team shoot the lights out in the first half and then just throw up stone bricks in the second half.
Probably the free throw, if I'm honest with you, but it's all right. It's all right. We both got one game on each other, so hey, congratulations for beating Michigan State for like the first time in centuries.
Yeah, it is.
Kidding.
Yeah. I'm not really going. I can't really trash talk about this game. There's no reason. When they were playing last year, when both teams were really, really good especially in conference play.
Yeah.
We had reason to get heated. We had reasons. I was like, we gonna walk into Brez and we're gonna beat Michigan State. That set you on fire. I know it did. And I'm just like, I wanted to smoke.
Hey, I respect it, because if it were my team who hasn't been good in a while, I probably would do the same thing. So I respect it. And like you said, we can't really say much about this game coming up because we both haven't really played that well. So good luck as always.
Yeah. One last thing, I am anticipating some upset traps because I'm seeing Gonzaga BYU tomorrow. Ohio State Maryland, Villanova Creighton. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a few potential upset traps. Indiana Ohio State. There's a lot of upset potential games.
Yeah, I get that. BYU always seems to give Gonzaga a little bit of problems every year.
I know, right? It's just like that's the team. I remember watching the game where they beat them. Gonzaga was ranked second. They were ranked 23rd.
At home, that was electric.
Oh my gosh, that game was so lit to watch. Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. College basketball. We're heading right towards March Madness, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see a random team win it. That's all I gotta say.
So, looking at the NHL standings, I don't know what to think because, first and foremost, the Florida Panthers are actually looking really good.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. You said when looking at the standings, you don't know what you're looking at. I know exactly what I'm looking at. The Red Wings are the worst team. It's sad. It's sad. I'm not surprised they started off well though. They did. They started off. They got a few wins, and then since they have just been falling off. But from what I've seen, it's been very, very competitive. And almost every division, honestly. Hey, the Canadians, they're still doing their things, but just wait. It's gonna be like the stock market. One day you're on top, and then it's just gonna drop. Your stock is gonna go down. I'm calling it right now.
Are you sure about this?
I'm very sure. Hey, they went from first to second, so that's just the start. That is just the start.
I'm glad the Maple Leafs are doing good, though. I like the Maple Leafs. I know it's their original 16, right?
Yeah. They just really, in my opinion, from what I've seen in my lifetime, they just really can't do anything in the playoffs. Before probably 3 years ago, they weren't even that good. They were a pretty bad team. So I don't know what to think about them. I'm trying to think of a comparison, I just think they're pretty mediocre, honestly. I don't think they're fantastic. I don't think they're terrible. They're just meh to me.
Okay. I hope they can break through. I would love to see a new champion this year. I would love. Now I know the Montreal Canadiens have the most cups in the NHL, but I wouldn't mind seeing one through my own eyes. Because I think I like the Canadians' color scheme. I don't know why. I
So
don't
that
know
gives them
why.
the right to win the cup. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would like to see Edmonton. I would love to see Edmonton
Yeah.
win. I mean, hey, you have the best player in the NHL. Come on. Come on. They've been pretty close. They've been on the cusp of, winning a few playoff series. Connor McDavid, best player in the NHL. I want to see him. I want to see him be successful in the playoffs.
I need Oilers Flames in the playoffs.
We almost got it last year. We almost did.
Oh my gosh. If the Oilers would have just took care of business against Chicago, oh my gosh, we could have seen it. We could have seen it because we knew the Blackhawks didn't stand no chance against Vegas. No chance. Bruh. Give me a Flames Oilers freaking all I can ask for is second round max. Because I don't know if they're the two best teams I don't know how they're going to. Are they going? I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see how they do the whole division champion thing. I can't. I gotta see this playoff.
It's probably going to be different. I mean, I'm assuming I'm not sure what they're going to do with the playoffs. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean that's a mystery too. So I mean, hey, I mean, I'm still waiting for it, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad that the Hurricanes are doing somewhat good.
Told you.
If the season were to end today, they would be in the playoffs, and they're tied for with two other teams for the least amount of games played in the Central Division. So I'm happy. I'm happy with where we're at. I'm glad. We got Aho and what's his name, Andrei Svechnikov going. I'm glad we got those boys going. I mean, we've had a couple of scary games against the Blackhawks the past week, but I'm content with where we're at. I hope we don't fizzle out because I fear that for every team that I support.
Canadians.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue throughout this NHL season. You're gonna hear me just say the Canadians are gonna just fall off. But
have the Canadians really been doing this behind my back without even knowing it?
Yes, they have. I growing up, every single time I would look at the standings, it would be the Canadians. They would be undefeated, and then 2 weeks later, they'd be one of the worst teams in their division. But nonetheless, you're talking about the Central. The Red Wings just had a series against the Lightning, and believe it or not, the Red Wings have not beaten the Lightning in 12 straight tries. So,
God.
That's one reason why I don't like them, because they just can't beat them. They haven't been able to beat them this past decade, and it's been very, very sad.
Yeah, I mean, something's got to happen, man. It's just got to change. Some fortunes have to change. I really hope it can happen at some point, because I'm tired of hearing. Even though I'm not a diehard Red Wings fan, but I like the Red Wings. I don't like the slander on teams that suck. I don't like it.
These past 2 years, it's been pretty bad. They're equivalent to, how, I guess, I'm going to the NBA, but you know how people like to say, oh, that's the NBA's G League team, the Pistons, the worst team, that they're equivalent to a G League team. That's basically what the Red Wings are. They're equivalent to, an AHL team. That's basically what the slander has been. And I guess people aren't wrong, because the Red Wings have been pretty bad, but Ottawa has also been bad. I don't know. I want to see teams like Buffalo. I say this almost every single time we cover the NHL. I want to see Buffalo be successful. I've always liked Buffalo. Buffalo is a nice city. I've been there a few times. I don't know. I feel bad for the Sabres. They're almost like the Lions to me. They haven't really been successful. At least they made the Cup once, I believe, against Dallas, maybe almost 20 years ago. But I don't know. I want to see Buffalo. I want to see Buffalo contend for a Stanley Cup.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a lot of teams I want to see. I want to see the Sharks win it. I want to see the Predators win it. I want to see the Hurricanes win it by default. Only one cup. You got what, 14? 17. I don't know how many cups the Red Wings have, but 12. I know it's a lot.
It is.
I don't know if it's in the 10s or the 20s,
12.
but it's a lot. 12. Oh, okay. But yeah, I want to see them. I want to see them win it. I wouldn't mind seeing the Red Wings win another one. Okay. I know you would. I want to see. I definitely want to see the Canucks win it, because last year I developed catchphrase. Canuck, 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 Canuck. When they beat the Blues first round.
You did. I,
Almost.
I remember you were trash talking when they played my Golden Knights. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yes, I said my Golden Knights because that I mean I like the Golden Knights. I do. I ever since they made it to the Cup their first year in the NHL. That's cool. But hey, I just realized we got a new team coming next year, so that's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Kraken, which is why I'm gonna hold off on buying NHL until next year.
That's fair.
I'm gonna be all full force on NHL 22. I want the Seattle Kraken. I want the Kraken.
They have some interesting colors too. I like it. I like it though.
Dude.
I'm excited because then we get I guess a revamp of divisions. I believe they are going to be heading into the Coyote spot. Coyotes are going to go to the Central, which is pretty weird.
I mean, I guess. I mean, you would think, oh well, how much more west can you get than Arizona? Well, California, Washington. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird.
But,
I haven't heard anything about any West team at all except Colorado.
I know, right?
It's really weird.
I mean, they've been under the radar. It's so under the radar that the Ducks are in position to make the playoffs if the season ended today.
That's
weird.
It's been a while since they've been pretty good. I mean, I remember when the Kings were on top of that division year in year out, making the Cup, beating the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup once, and then lost the other. I don't know. I actually, speaking of teams, I want to see the Devils. I don't know. They've always been pretty cool to me. I mean, their team is pretty good. They're close. I'd rather see them make the playoffs than Pittsburgh, but
Now, yeah, that's the big question. Will we get Bruins, Flyers, Caps, and Penguins in the coming out of the East Division? I hope not. I hope one of those bottom teams can sneak in, especially the Sabres and the Devils. Oh, I don't mind the New York team sitting out for once, but
and Boston.
Yeah, Flyers have been blowing some games. Oh my God! Speaking of that, I'm watching the Flyers Caps right now. They are literally trading haymakers. It's 3-3.
Oh,
and it's not halfway through the game.
Oh, I thought you meant literally trading haymakers, like they were dropping gloves.
Oh no, I meant
Bro, that's kind of funny to think about. Hockey, you can actually fight. So I wonder if people have been confused by they're trading haymakers, goal after goal. No, literally they're throwing haymakers.
Yeah, it's like you have to specify. That's what I like about hockey. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to the spring. Hopefully we can get some more clarity on who's the real contenders and who's not.
Oh yeah.
So you touched up on the NBA earlier. I don't know what to say. I mean, look, I will say this. Shout out to the Mavericks for bouncing back because you got your stuff clapped. You hear me? Clapped by the Warriors on Thursday, and to come back and beat the Warriors with Curry dropping 57 points.
He was unstoppable last night. I mean, same with Luka, but that was a really, really good game. And the Mavs, they almost blew that. Did you see it?
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm looking at it. I'm like, I just thank God for that Maxi Kleber 3.
Yeah, because I guarantee if Steph got another shot, I think he would have made it because he was heating up. He was hot the entire game. He couldn't miss. He really couldn't.
Oh no, that dude was shooting oh my gosh, that dude was shooting the lights out. It was amazing to watch. It's great to see a player when he's hot and just make shot after shot.
Oh, yeah.
It's oh my gosh, is he gonna get another dagger? Oh.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's kind of how it was with Luka in the playoffs last year against the Clippers. And Damian Lillard, every single time he gets hot. That's really how it is. I mean, every time Damian Lillard gets a shot off, you think it's going in. Same with Steph Curry. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's tradition. I mean, people are really, starting to. I mean, this is an offensive generation in the NBA. This is starting to be a league of offense.
Yeah.
Not a lot of defense being played. I mean, just look at the Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, I think that's been like a common stigma with the NBA. People, college basketball fans, they don't like to, watch the NBA because they don't play defense. But I don't know. I think the NBA is very entertaining. I mean, when you have star players like we just mentioned, Luka and Steph, both of those players, they went off, and they can go off on a nightly basis. And I love the offense that has been being produced in the NBA these past few years. I mean, some of these players are, I wouldn't say, household names around the world, but you get players like Kevin Durant, James Harden, LeBron James, Steph Curry. All those players are phenomenal and, generational talent. So.
Yeah, it's like you rarely don't even see scores you don't see double-digit scores anymore in the NBA.
No, this isn't 2004.
Oh, no.
The defensive era.
Yeah, dude. I sure got my bell rung about that when I first, got into the NBA. I had no idea what I was heading into when it comes to offense. I mean, who's even the lowest scoring team in the NBA? Let me see. The lowest scoring team in the NBA is not the Orlando Magic. The Cleveland Cavaliers. No, not even the Cleveland Cavaliers. The New York Knicks.
And they're still in playoff contention? That's wild.
Yeah. That is weird. I mean, the Knicks are the 7th seed. They have a minus 1.2 point differential. They only score 102.7 points per game, and they are still in position to make the playoffs. Is that really how bad the Eastern Conference is?
Yes, I really do, and that's kind of weird. I just realized Toronto, they turned it up a little bit. They have. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Fred Van Vliet dropping 54, right?
Yeah, 54 points. He passed DeMar DeRozan. Just let that sink in, Drew. The Raptors' all-time leading scorer in points per game, in points in a game, is not DeMar DeRozan. It's not Kyle Lowry. It's not Terrence Ross. It's
Kawhi
not
Leonard.
Vince Carter. Not Chris Bosh.
Kawhi Leonard.
Not Kawhi Leonard. But Fred VanVleet.
That's weird. I mean, they re-signed him for a reason, and I guess he proved why. But that's really weird. It's kind of crazy they traded probably one of their best franchise players for Kawhi Leonard. I mean, it ended up, with them getting a championship. Nonetheless, it's weird. The Raptors, they're weird. Tampa Bay Raptors, I should say. I don't know. I've never seen the home game. Have you watched a home game by the Raptors? I haven't had the chance to look it up.
Dude, the court looks it looks eerie to me. It's just like it's so much red. And I know the Raptors colors are red, but I'm not used to seeing that much red on the Raptors court. I'm used to seeing more like a more of a mixture of black in there,
Yeah.
I mean, just so weird. Oh my gosh, dude. How are playoff games gonna work? Imagine it, like, say the NBA allows, some, increased amount of fans for playoff games. If the Raptors make the playoffs, what are they gonna do? Are you just gonna have temporary Tampa Bay bandwagoners? Just be like, I mean, they're gonna be like me when I go to high school basketball games. Like, I'm just, because it's convenient. I'm just gonna go to this game. Pay a few bucks. Go to see a playoff game. That's literally how it's going to be if the Tampa Bay Raptors make the playoffs.
Dude, imagine they get to the finals, and then we get Lightning. We get Lightning, the Rays, the Bucks, and the Raptors. Dude, that'd be wild. But it's funny because the Raptors, in my opinion, I think they're close with the Warriors, but I think those two fan bases are two of the best in the league by far. Every single time you get a home Raptors playoff game, it's electric. That stadium is crazy. I love the atmosphere in Toronto when they won the finals and every single playoff appearance. I don't know. It's really weird they're in Tampa Bay. It's really weird that they haven't really performed too well. Obviously in the 8th spot right now. I think, like you said, I think the East is really that bad.
Yeah, I mean, one last thing about the Raptors, I always get chills when I hear that "Let's Go Raptors" chant. Oh my gosh,
that very passionate fan base.
Oh my gosh, the day I hear Let's go, Pistons. I'm going to absolutely just be like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Yeah, their catchphrase, the Pistons' catchphrase is Detroit basketball.
Really?
Yep.
I had no idea about
Mason, that's their PA address announcer. Very, very famous for doing intros and saying Detroit basketball. That's been their catchphrase for the past 20 years. So,
interesting. I want to touch up on the West, dude. I really do. Because, okay, there's 3 clear-cut contenders, apparently. You know, the LA teams and the Jazz. Outside of that,
contenders, the Jazz? Are you serious?
yes.
Sure, they contenders for the playoffs, right?
No, contenders for a championship, in my opinion. Dude, if they snatch the number 1 seed, they got a pretty good chance. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll force one of the LA teams to play each other early, and all you have to do is beat the LA team, and you go to the finals.
That beating that LA team is going to be a tough task. Whoever's going to be, I just got to say that. Saying contenders, in my opinion, is very, very bold, but I guess I will respect it because, you know, they've been decently close, but they need to, you know, not blow 3-1 leads and to teams like the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets are a good team, and Jokic is probably going to win MVP, in my opinion, nonetheless. I don't know. Finals contenders, that's kind of a stretch, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's fair to say when they really haven't done too much in the playoffs.
I mean, the Lakers haven't done much in the playoffs over the past years, and they won a championship last year. First trip back in what?
Have the Jazz won a championship though?
Touche.
Yeah, you can be contenders. You have the right to be a contender if you win the finals. But if you haven't gotten there, and it's, you know, it's been tough getting there. But hey, I would be 100% okay if you prove me wrong and they win the finals this year. But right now, in my opinion, I don't think they're finals contenders.
I mean, I know it's safe to say that, the LA teams are kind of just sleepwalking through the regular season. It's not real until it gets to the playoffs. I mean, we saw, that's what LeBron James is known for, basically. I mean,
yeah,
he got to the finals as a 4 seed, for crying out loud, when he was with the Cavs last ride, you know, beat the Celtics in the conference finals and stuff like that. There was a 4 seed. So we know for a fact that when your team is led by LeBron James, it ain't real until it gets to playoff time. You could be an 8 seed with LeBron, and he'll still find a way to turn on the Jets in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you need. I wouldn't say a more experienced player, but you know, the Jazz they're a pretty young team with not too much, you know, playoff experience. So they definitely, it's a stretch to call them finals contenders. But the rest of the West, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the Warriors, you know, getting back on track. Surprisingly so. I mean, Steph Curry, Kelly Oubre, both of those have turned it up. Honestly, Kelly Oubre started off the season terribly, and then the Mavs, they, like we mentioned, had a really big win last night.
Yeah, they needed that one. I mean, they're still second to last in the West, which is mind-boggling to think about how good that team can be. I mean, I really don't think they should have got rid of Seth Curry.
No, you're right.
I don't know why they let him walk. Yeah, I don't know.
They need another option. They really do.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. When you have valuable pieces on a team, why on earth do you just let them walk? Same thing with Jeremy Grant with the Nuggets. I mean, I don't know about cap issues.
They actually offered him the same contract the Pistons did.
It makes no sense. How do you let that man walk? It's just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But
I love it.
Jeremy Grant's a legend for that. I mean, he's got a lot of Pistons to go and join the Pistons over the Nuggets. That takes a lot of guts, and I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
But dude, the Western Conference, as usual, is absolutely just airtight. The Phoenix Suns are in 4th place. The Memphis Grizzlies are in 11th place. yet they're only separated by a game and a half.
Yeah, that's quite weird. I would say I want to see Sacramento make the playoffs. That's all I gotta say. I want to see Sacramento make it. It's been like I don't think they've made it since 2004. I believe it's been a while. The Kings, and then I feel like they're a pretty dysfunctional franchise in my opinion. Their players really don't want to be there. You know, your GM is getting in fights with Luka's dad during the draft. I don't know what's going on in Sacramento. Hopefully they can hold on to players. Bagley and Fox. Both those two players are obviously really, really, really good players. I don't know what is going on in Sacramento. I hope they can make the playoffs though.
They have got to find a way to keep those players. I do not want De'Aaron Fox to be in like Deshaun Watson type situation. I really don't.
It's a good comparison. I could see it too.
Now, that's oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna. Whew, man, NBA is crazy. All right, Drew, let's get into MVPs and LVPs. Who is your MVP?
This one may take you by surprise based on the fact of what happened last night. I'm going to take Aaron Donald. I know that Aaron Donald probably shouldn't have won, Defensive Player of the Year because TJ Watt, he had literally almost every single – he was leading in every single stat defensively besides fumbles. But think about it. TJ Watt, he is a linebacker. Aaron Donald, he is a defensive end, defensive tackle. Those two are way different, and to have stats like Aaron Donald had, that's impressive. And let me just tell you, throughout his entire career, some of his accolades from the day he was drafted to last night, right? 2014, he was a Pro Bowl and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, that's a pretty good start in your first season. 2015, Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro. All right. 2016, Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro. 2017, Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year. That's just in his first 4 years. 2 years later, he's gotten the Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro, and then Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro, and Defensive Player of the Year. That is. Have you ever seen any other defensive player have a start to a career like that? I think it's almost like Mike Trout. The way he has started his career, I think he could easily go down as the best defensive player of all time.
Yeah, I mean it's a bold statement to make, but you know what? If he keeps doing this, man, Ray Lewis, Lawrence Taylor, you're gonna have to make way, man, because this dude Aaron Donald, his presence alone scares teams. I mean, double teams, sometimes maybe even a triple team every now and then.
He's not even a linebacker. He's on the line. He's a defensive tackle, defensive end. How is he doing this? This is impressive. This is absurd.
Just imagine what happens when they send a blitz. Oh boy. Whew. Yeah, that's scary, dude. My MVP, and usually MVPs go to people or anything involving people. I'm gonna involve something else. I'm gonna include a company as I'm gonna give my first MVP award to a company.
Ooh.
CBS is my MVP. Why? I know it sounds random, but I am giving CBS my MVP because they got so lucky that NBC had to broadcast the Olympics over the Super Bowl. So NBC had to, give over, they had to give up the Super Bowl for the Olympics. And now somebody else has to step in and get the Super Bowl. CBS got that Super Bowl. And I'm like, well, CBS is going to have 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. They're going to break the cycle. Okay. And then they get Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Again. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, they have to be the happy people on the planet to have the ability to get Mahomes versus Brady on 4 different occasions.
Okay, let me ask you this. How many times is Tony Romo going to predict a play tonight?
I'll say 6.
6 times. 6 times? Correct? 6 times? Okay. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, after what? Look, he read that AFC Championship between the Pats and the Chiefs like a book. Every time he said, watch Element over the middle, watch Gronk on the outside, and watch see if Swanson comes down, then Brady's going to throw. Bam! What? I'm like, what the? So, yeah, Romo knows Mahomes and Brady very well.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he called this game with pinpoint precision.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But you know what? CBS lucked out so hard because they were supposed to broadcast the Super Bowl next year. It goes CBS, they broadcast 47, 50, 53. It's supposed to be 56 next year. But, NBC, they, prioritize the Olympics and stuff like that. So they have to give it up. I'm just like, oh my gosh, CBS, so lucky. And you know what? One stat I want to bring up. Tom Brady is undefeated when the Super Bowl is on CBS.
That could either be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, streaks are meant to be broken. There's a lot of streaks on the line. Some streaks are going to have to break,
Yeah, you are right. You are very right about that.
And also, it seems like the only teams that can beat Brady in the Super Bowl are in how about this? After this season, the NFC East.
Yeah, that's odd. That is odd. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if the Chiefs somehow lose this game, I'm anticipating the Chiefs win.
Oh wow.
But if they, I'm picking the Bucks because I'm putting the big boy pants on. But if the Chiefs somehow lose this game, then the NFC East is forever goated for beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl and being the only ones to do it. That is absolutely absurd. So yeah, my MVP is CBS. Okay. Let's get into LVPs though.
All right. What if I told you the defending NBA champions, right? That you don't expect them to have bad losses. Usually they're gonna lose to good teams, right? 2 weeks ago they had their worst loss of the season. That coming to the Detroit Pistons, who at the time had the worst record in the NBA. How does that happen, right? So that's one thing, right? 2 weeks later, they're playing in LA. And apparently, the Lakers are really, really good. They're, the best team, looking for a repeat. How in the world do you let the Pistons play up to you and you take them to double overtime? Double overtime. How do the Lakers allow that to happen? The Pistons, who are the worst team in the NBA by far. Look at the standings right now. The Pistons are at the very bottom. And you let the Lakers let the Pistons take them to double overtime. And dude, that's not good. That is not good. And they almost sweep the season series. They were one shot away from sweeping the season series over the defending champs. Come on, Lakers, if you expect to win the NBA Finals again, you gotta beat these bad teams. So that's why I'm giving it to the Lakers. They almost got swept by the Pistons, but if we look at history, the Pistons have been really, really good against the Lakers. And 2004 and 1989, they won in the finals. So I don't know, man. The Pistons are just always playing well against the Lakers. Imagine they almost. I was watching the game and I got so hyped. Jeremy Grant went up for a fadeaway floater at the end of the first overtime, missed it off the rim. That could have been the season sweep. But nonetheless, the Lakers. Come on, how are you about to get almost swept by the Pistons and you are the defending NBA champions? That
sounds bad. Not even just that, but you get outscored by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. By
the Pistons.
Yeah.
To even get to overtime in the first place. That's
double overtime. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a pretty undercover L.
Yeah, it is.
Yikes.
Hey, taking the defending champs to double overtime is a win in itself.
Yeah, especially if you're in the phase of rebuilding.
Yeah, 100%.
Or retooling.
100%.
Yeah. Well, my LVP unfortunately has to go to the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, is this a second award for them?
This might be The second award, I'll have to look back at the other episodes, see what awards I gave them, but I have to give another LVP to Steelers, man. Because look, this is not a good time to be a Steelers fan. Not only did you get blasted by the Cleveland Browns last month, not only did you have to sit through the entire playoffs after getting blasted on primetime television, not only did you see the Browns not get clapped by the Chiefs, they actually put up a really good fight, probably a better fight than you would have put up, maybe. Not only did, TJ Watt not win the Defensive Player of the Year, which that's not all your fault, but it's still counted against you. But now you have to see either Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown get a ring in the Super Bowl.
Okay, I like your selection. No, that was good. That was good. I agree. That is funny. The Killer Bees, only one missed out, but that's funny. Le'Veon.
Yeah, but dude, the Steelers are in a great heap of trouble. Literally every other team in the AFC North is trending upwards. Even the Ravens, who are, still looking at how can we make Lamar Jackson a Super Bowl winning quarterback? How can we do this? At least the Ravens are, addressing their problems. But you signed Dwayne Haskins when you should know if Ben Roethlisberger is going to play another year or not. And you already have all this dysfunction at the quarterback position. You don't know who's going to be the heir apparent to Ben Roethlisberger. What is it going to be, Steelers? Is it going to be Dwayne Haskins? Is it going to be Mason Rudolph? Not going to be Doug Hodges. He's in Los Angeles, I believe.
Yeah.
What was going to happen with Josh Dobbs? Dude, that quarterback room is that's not good. That's not good. I don't know what it is with Pennsylvania quarterback rooms, but it's not good. That's not good.
You're lucky. It would have been fantastic to see Dwayne Haskins sign with the Bears. I would have loved it. I mean, that's like a perfect match right there. Really, really good quarterback to a really, really good team. I would have loved it. Sam Darnold, Dwayne Haskins, Mitchell Trubisky. Oh, what a great quarterback room there. I mean, come on.
See, it's one thing to play for Ohio State. It's another thing to be trash and then come to the Bears. Don't bring that up ever again. You hear me? Don't bring that up ever again.
Just know, if he gets traded, it's going to be to the Bears. I'm calling it.
No, he's got to be out of the league before he comes to the Bears. No. Unless he's coming to be a backup. I'll take him as a backup, not as a starter.
All right, so let's say he takes the Steelers to a Super Bowl and wins it, gets MVP.
Okay, reconsideration.
There you go.
But what will the Bears have to give up for him, though? Because, his value is going to shoot up.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, my gosh! Dude, we are not going to get Sam Darnold. Watch get Sam Darnold clip this.
I'm waiting for it. Oh, my
gosh, if they trade for Sam Darnold. Oh, my gosh, no. Ooh. I'm gonna have to award myself the LVP if that happens.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my gosh. Okay, dude, let's get into some trivia. I really love the NHL because there's a lot of competition, and you know what? There's been a lot of great days in NHL history, and I asked last week, what is the NHL record for most overtime games in one day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said 8 because that was my favorite number.
Andrew, it took 25 episodes for either one of us to get the nail on the button. The record actually is 8.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. We promised fans. I had no idea that was the answer. I had no idea.
I verified that he didn't have the idea.
No idea. That's hilarious. 8 times in a day overtime. That's hilarious. That was just a random guess. I said that was my favorite number, and hey, it worked out. I should do that more often.
Was there 20, 23 somethings? Oh my gosh! But yeah, dude, the record is 8. It was done 3 times. First on February 22nd, 2007, then on November 27th, 2015, and then last season on February 7th. Not last season. 2 seasons ago on February 7th, 2019. 2 years ago to this day. Wow. Actually.
That's actually pretty crazy. 8 times. I can't believe I got it right. That's funny. That's pretty crazy. I mean, the guess was, we talked about last week, but the guess was like right in the middle. It was not too low, not too high. It was directly right in the middle. So I'm not too surprised. Yeah,
and a couple of those times those were 12 game slates.
Wow.
So 66% of those games went to overtime. So yeah. That's pretty dope though.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I'm watching the Flyers and the Capitals. It's 5-4, and the third period is not even a quarter way through the third period. We might see another overtime game. I don't know.
What if the record gets broken today? I mean, who knows?
Oh my god, dude!
On the same day it did 2 seasons ago.
That would be crazy. That's insane. That would be insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what's your trivia question?
You brought up NHL. I'm gonna continue the streak with NHL. So we all know the Red Wings are terrible. No, I wasn't even gonna say like really bad. They're terrible. So Jimmy Howard retired. That was one of their best goalies in their franchise history. One of them. So Jonathan Bernier, he's taken over. The I wouldn't say daily goaltending, but he's definitely probably their starter. So when was the last time the Red Wings won a game without Jonathan Bernier being in goal?
Now, see, with my inability of watching Red Wings games consistently night in, night out, this is my first time hearing this dude's name.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people as well. He played with the Maple Leafs a little bit, but he's definitely not like a household name. Like he's good, but he's just not like a prominent figure in the sport.
So last time
they won a game without him being in goal.
Okay, without.
And he's probably their starting goaltender.
I don't know how long he's been there, but I'm gonna say the 2018.
2018.
Okay. 2018.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna say it's been a long time. That's the hint.
Yeah, my guess is 2018. Since you got the 8 today, I'll stick with something related to 8 now.
I like it. Hey, that's a good guess. That is a good guess, but we'll have to find out next time.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, dude, we talked a lot today. Super Bowl Sunday, man. That's the headliner. But you know what? This is a time. It takes all of us to crown a champion. Bears fans, Lions fans, Packers fans, Bills fans. It takes all of us to crown a champion. And this is a day of we gotta cherish this day. I mean, first Super Bowl during a pandemic. Should be very interesting to see, especially how the halftime show is gonna go and how the post game, the Lombardi Trophy presentation is gonna go. It's gonna be interesting to see how dudes pop bottles in the locker room.
Yeah.
Can't wait, right?
Yeah. Never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Go Chiefs. And with that being said, same time next week.
Yeah, hopefully next week I can dethrone you off of that freaking Patrick Mahomes never bet against him mantra. But if not, I'll accept it. If you guys enjoy Top of the Standings, give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or whatever streaming device you're using to listen to Top of the Standings. Give us a like, comment, subscribe if you're listening on YouTube and watching on YouTube. And give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, the big 3 social media platforms. This has been Top of the Standings, quarter century, episode number 25. No, actually, we're past the quarter century. This is the next quarter century, 26. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.